Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another video. For today's video, we're going to do something a little bit different. The ride that you'll be seeing is going to be the return trip home from my Muju problems video that I uploaded a couple weeks ago. The ride to Muju was quite troublesome, but the ride home was quite smooth and exciting. So just enjoy what you see, and it's not the full trip, but it's the good parts. As you watch today's ride, however, I'm going to take this time to introduce you to a couple of my favorite phone apps. These are the apps that I always use as I ride. So let's take a look at my favorite apps, starting with Fuelio. In the top left, let's open up Fuelio. Fuelio is my favorite app just because of how simple and how powerful it is. Fuelio is basically a cost tracking app that allows you to see all the expenses for vehicles that you may have. The first thing that you're going to want to do when you download Fuelio is click here on the menu. Then scroll all the way down to the bottom and find the vehicles. When you click on the vehicles, you can add whatever vehicle you have, picture, units. You can change units from kilometers to miles or liters to gallons, whatever you want. Once you have your settings, then you can see details about my Comet, details about my Sonata. But this is not what is important. What's important is back on the main screen. Once you add your vehicles, they now become available here on the drop-down menu. So when I'm out riding, the only thing I need to do is open up Fuelio, select my Comet from the drop-down menu, and then press the big red button at the bottom. Here you can see the gas icon. I'll just click that. And then all I need to do is type in the odometer, and then there are three values: fuel, price per liter, price per gallon, whatever your units are set for, and total cost. Now, of these three values, all you need to do is type in two of them, and the other one's calculated quickly for you. So total cost and price per gallon or price per liter. Maybe I know the price per liter, I'll type it in there. I'll type in the total amount that I paid for gas this time, and it'll tell me how much fuel I added. Then you can select full tank or deselect full tank, whether you filled up or if you just put in a little bit. And the data is already saved for you. Now it has other options for selecting gas stations according to GPS or adding a picture of the fuel that you added. But I basically just add the fuel, the numbers, select full tank because I usually fill up, and then click the check mark up top. Now I haven't added anything this time, so nothing shows up. But then when you get back to the main page, you can see some important details. So average fuel consumption is 22 kilometers per liter. My last fuel consumption was up from what it was before, from what it was previous, but the fuel price was also up from what it was previously. Now cost, you can see this month I spent about $27 worth of gas. The previous month I spent about $82 on gas, and I spent $90 on other costs, right? And then you can see way back when. Now you can open up each one of these costs, and you can see the full history all the way back to October 2017. Those are the costs that I've done. You can open up gas and see all the fill-ups since you added the app, all the way back to the beginning. But on the main page, you just have a summary of the gas and the cost. So let's see how we can add a cost. A cost is the same thing. Click the big red button at the bottom and click on to a cost. Then you just select what type of cost it is: service, maintenance, registration, all the way down to insurance. Whatever money you spend on your vehicle, you can record the type of spending. You can type in a title, whether it's new tires, type in how much you paid. The date is already set, but you can change. And you can talk about what kind of cost it is. Is it monthly? Is it a one-time cost? And then you can type any notes that you want. I always type in the odometer so I know when I made some upgrade or some maintenance or oil change. And then you can put pictures. So imagine you got new tires, you can take some pictures and store it right there in Fuelio. So that's Fuelio. It takes care of your gas, it takes care of your cost, and basically you can compare vehicles. So if you have two cars and you want to know which one is costing more over time, this is the way you do it. Fuelio is great for that. If you want to know how much you're spending, if you want to see how much you're spending on a vehicle, or if you want to see how much money you're saving by driving a motorcycle instead of a car, you can see how much you're saving. So that's Fuelio. Now let's take a look at my next favorite app. Right next to Fuelio is Riser. If we open up Riser, we can see right away that there's a map and there's an icon where I am on the map. This is because Riser is a GPS tracking app. GPS trackers are wonderful for if you've ridden and then you want to look back and see details about where you've been, elevation, speed, and other things about what happened along the way. Using Riser is super easy. When I get on my bike, I just open up Riser and click this big blue button that says Start Trip. Now, it starts recording, and I can even exit out of Riser. And when I exit out of Riser, you can see the little 1 marker on the Riser, which means something's working in Riser in the background. It's still tracking. If I move around, it follows me. My icon moves, and it follows with a blue line, tracking where I've been. Here you can see auto pause starting in 16, 15, 14, and that's because I've set my settings to allow or to activate auto pause. That means if I stop for lunch, I don't have to click pause and then play after lunch and forget to press play and then, oh no, I lost some of my trip. So I have auto pause activated. That way it cuts out some of the dead time where you're not moving, you're not driving around, and it auto starts when you start moving, when it detects movement. Now as I'm driving along the way, if I want to take a picture and save it in my map, then I just click the picture button. Then I can use my camera, or I can select a picture from the gallery, and it inserts the picture in the part of the map where it was taken. Now when I finish a ride, you press stop. When I press stop, it says no data is collected because I'm not moving. Usually it'll say finish trip or resume. You select finish trip and it'll bring up some options for entering what bike you used and how was the weather and things like that. You can save that into the ride. You can give it a title. So let's look at some of my past rides. At the top corner, at the top, we can see my icon is there. If you click my icon, it goes to my profile page. You can see how much distance, how much time, how much climb, and how many trips that I've taken using Riser or tracking with Riser. And then as you scroll down, you can see all these rides. Some of them you just see the map because I took no pictures during that time. Some of them you see pictures because those are pictures I took on those rides. If I scroll down, I'm going to find an example of a ride where I took pictures as I went. I believe Campus Tour is a ride that I took. You can see it's 4.9 kilometers and it only took me 11 minutes. But here you can see the map with each picture where it was on the map. So this is my campus over at KMU. You can see the main gate pictures here. You can see the library's pictures in the middle. and so it inserts the picture wherever it was taken on the map. If you don't want them on the map, you can always take pictures after driving so that the map is clear of pictures, and then the pictures you've inserted were just inserted after you stopped and you finished the ride. So let's go into edit and see what edits we have. When you edit, you can change the name, or when you save a trip, you can title it, and you can give some details about it. You can select which bike. For me, I have only one bike, so I select that one. And you can select what weather it was, what friends you rode with, and other things. You can hide top speed or hide start and end points. And there you have it. So all of these rides are visible to me. But the good thing about Riser is you can also have them visible to friends. It's also got a social aspect. Now, I'm not going to show you how many friends I have or who are my friends, but if you click onto the friends icon, then you can see your list of friends. And then you can go in and you can see their rides, and you can see whatever they have available to the public. But up here, right next to my icon, it says garage. You can click on your garage, and once again, just like Fuelio, you can add different vehicles. That way, if you take a ride on Saturday on one bike and you take a ride on Sunday on a different bike, you can select which bike you rode and as you save each trip. I want to do one more thing. Adventure Navigator. This is something that I haven't really tried yet, but if you click the white Adventure Navigator, it's going to look around your area for curvy, or if you pay for premium, super curvy trails. Now I have a couple options. I can go south, I can click over here and select the east, I can go up north, select this one, I can go out west and select this one. It gives me a couple different options of curvy ways to go. It's just random, I think, but if you select one place that you want to go, then when you click go, it'll give you navigation. It'll tell you where to go, how to get there, turn right, turn left, etc. And it works just like a navigation. I haven't tried this yet just because for Korea, there are so many roads that you can't drive on using a motorcycle. I'm betting this app doesn't take that into account. So I'm not going to follow this app where to go, because it just selects any roads, not concerning whether I can drive on it or not. For example, this road, I absolutely cannot drive on that on a motorcycle. It won't let me do it. And that'll probably appear on the Adventure Navigator. So as you can see, Riser is a great app, not just for the GPS, but also for the incorporation of their more social aspects to it. You can take pictures, you can comment on other people's rides, add friends, see where they've been, and you can share rides with your friends and family. But imagine you wanted a GPS tracker which was just that, a GPS tracker. Which brings us to Geo Tracker. This is a bare bones tracker that's actually pretty powerful. I say bare bones because you don't add pictures, you can't add vehicles and switch between vehicles. You just press record when you start and press stop when you're done. And then up here in the selection, you can see all your trips, and you can select which trips, and it'll put it on the map. So I've selected this trip, and you can go back and see where you went. It's very accurate. It follows the roads that I was on, and that's all it does. It just tracks my ride, and so you can go back and see where you've been. Well, this is on the map setting up here. If we look over here to statistics, you can see just as much. You can see how far you went, you can see the max speeds, you can see the duration, and you can see your average speeds. There are a couple charts which are interesting. You can find out the altitude, the ascent that you've been, max altitude. So we can see that on this ride we went pretty high up in the mountains during some of the ride. Now you can put actually two different rides on the same map, and now you can see, well, I went that place on that day, and I can see that compared to the other ride over here. Whatever you want, you can select 2 trips or 3 trips or whatever and put them all on the same map, or you can just select one and remember where you went. But that's that. It's just a tracker, and I like that. And to finish off my list of favorite riding apps, let me talk about something specific to riding in Korea. Riding motorcycles in Korea is a little bit difficult because there are a lot of places, a lot of motorways, highways, tunnels, and even some roads that are inaccessible to motorcycle riding. It is illegal to enter these places on a motorcycle, and if you accidentally do and you find yourself on one of those roads, you might get into a lot of trouble. So I use Kakao Navi. Kakao Navi is a navigation system that allows you to set options so that you can search any place in Korea and not get on those roads. If you set your options to a motorcycle, then it will give you only roads that are accessible to motorcycles legally. So to set your options, click on the very bottom right down here. That will bring up this menu. If you click on your name or your ID name at the top, and then click on the option below your number, it will bring up a list of type of car. The very top option, the number 1, is for all types of driving cars. At the very, very bottom, the last option is for 2-wheeled vehicles. If you set this option here, then all of your searches will only give roads and pathways that are allowed by motorcycles. So now if I choose from one of my places saved on the list, let's go to Costco, then you can see by the icon that you are in the motorcycle mode. And then you can be sure that wherever you're going, it won't take you onto a motorway. It won't take you onto a place that disallows motorcycles. But that's it. That's Kakao Navi, and it's very great for riding in Korea. So those are my favorite riding apps. Before I go, let me just mention another app that I use, not specifically for riding, but for this video. All of the screen captures that I used for this video have been recorded through DU Recorder. I love DU Recorder because it records my audio and my screen touches and all the things that I do. And then you can save the videos. So if you liked any of the videos or the way that I recorded my screen, download DU Recorder and you can record for yourself too. Anyhow, that's it. Thanks so much for watching and enjoy the ride. Bye.